Hey, this is just James, and today I'm going to be bringing you my review and test ride of the newest member of the Trike family. Hot rod of the three-wheel Harley Davidsons that for some reason doesn't have a tour pack on it. The Road Glide 3. So starting up here in the front, the Road Glide 3 is sporting a 19-inch wheel up in the front. This, for its time when it first came out in 2023, was a very stylized wheel, which was different from what you were seeing on Trikes, even though I do believe the Freewheeler had it before the Road Glide 3, so don't quote me on it. I just know the Road Glide 3, that's what people were commenting on a lot, was like that hot rod custom look on it. So it's still sporting that 19-inch in the front. Down here you will have the outward facing valve stem, that way it's easy to put air in the tire, and it does have TPMS sensors in there. It's just so much easier to get a hold of that. I'm glad that Harley, I think now, except for maybe the Nightster Standard, every single bike comes with that, because that is such a quality of life setup. And then up in the front, you will be sporting ABS and the 2-disc brakes, even though on the Trike, most of your stopping power is actually going to be in the rear. Now on the Road Glide 3, even though it is a 2025, it is still sporting the Rushmore style front fairing, which I personally don't think that you need to switch over to the new style fairing here on the Trike, since I think for that style of customer, they're going to prefer the more classic styling on the fairings versus the very new school aerodynamic styling on the current setup. But that's just my thoughts. I'm curious to see what y'all thoughts are below. And with the Rushmore style fairing, you are going to have the LED headlights down there with the 2 spots. However, your turn signals are still going to be the filament bulb. One of the things that I really like about this paint job, so this is the Whiskey Firestorm, is the ghost flames across it. I've brought it up in several other videos, but I think for any company that's an American-based company should have ghost flames in the catalog, especially if they're into the muscle cruiser or that more classic styling, just because it's iconic Americana styling. I get it, it's not going to be everybody's thing, but it's just one of those things I feel like should always be there. It's 100% an opinion though, not a fact. So now back over to the gas tank. So the Road Glide 3, or shorthand called, now over to the gas tank. The Road Glide 3, or the shorthand of what we call it around here, the RG3, is sporting a 6-gallon gas tank. This is going to be your teardrop gas tank, very traditional, won't have that new ridges across that you're seeing on the new ones. So this bike's power plant is going to be the 114 Milwaukee 8 that you see here. Power wise, I personally think it's plenty for the amount of metal that's across it. I do still think it's interesting that they haven't gone ahead and bumped these up to the 117s. This one also is not going to be having a radiator for liquid cooling. This is just going to be oil cooled mixed with air cooling. You can actually see the little oil cooler down here at the bottom. Big difference between this setup found on the Road Glide 3 and what you would find on the mainline touring with the centerline cooling is it's actually going to be running the oil cooled element over the heads, but it's running it front to back. So it's going to cool the front head, then the back head first, even though the back head generates more heat. I haven't personally heard that much complaints with the 114 on the Road Glide 3 from a generating heat point of view. And power-wise, it's got plenty since it does send power to both wheels, not just one individual wheel. But if you've got a Road Glide 3, tell me about how it feels heat-wise while you're going down the road. Transmission-wise, this bike is going to be sporting a 6-speed transmission. And while I'm down here, I went ahead and popped off that side panel that you can see where I've precariously put it up there on top of the seat, because I wanted to point out this section back through here. If you've watched my Tri-Glide video, I pointed out the same section. So for several people, they've run into the issue of, after a while, their reverse might go out on them and it's not working anymore. Before you bring it in and take it into a shop to get it diagnosed, pop off that side panel and hit that little red button right there. What that works is essentially along the same concept as a breaker for an electrical box in one's house. So in the event that it is like it's too much strain on that reverse motor, or it's too hot or what have you, that will actually kick in and cut off power to your reverse motor, so as to save the motor, not burn it out or blow a fuse. So if you're running into a thing where you feel like your reverse has gone out and you're not sure why, before going into a shop, definitely pop off that panel and see if you can't just reset it and get it to activate after that. Now you are going to be having 18-inch wheels in the rear, and as I said earlier, it is going to send power to both the rear wheels, so plenty of get up and go. The other thing that I like to point out back here is on the Road Glide 3, just like on our freewheeler, we have this more fishtail flip here at the back for the fender. More stylized. It's a throwback to the bike that comes to mind for me is the Softail Custom. So I personally really like this on the Road Glide 3. Gives it a more hot rodding look. But I have heard that from customers of mine, if you are riding behind somebody that is on RG3 with that little flip, they kick up a whole bunch of water because that fender's not catching it, and it's a big car tire for the rear. So if you're riding behind someone that is on an RG3 and it's about to start to rain, see if you can't get in front. Now when it comes to your brake and turn signals, you are going to be working with filament bulbs on either side. Those are not LED. For your trunk there, that's what it looks like on the inside. You can see I left the owner's manual and the key fobs in there to try and give you some sort of scale for how big it is in that compartment. As you can see here, it will be coming with floorboards for your passenger as well as the rider. For the rider, it's not completely unexpected. It's honestly what should be on there since this is a more touring capable vehicle, even though it's got 3 wheels. This is a nice little touch. It's something that personally I would like to see on more of the touring style vehicles, but it's on there for your Road Glide 3. For your Trikes, instead of a kickstand, you are going to have your parking brake here, which to activate, you push down, and then to release, you just do a little flick of your foot, and it'll pop back up. Because of the 3 wheels, these are a lot easier to move around as well, just because it's stable. You're not having to account for that weight. You're essentially just pushing it. But in order to re-engage that parking brake, you're just going to push down there. Once you hear the click, you can let up, and it's not going to go anywhere. So this is going to be your view from the cockpit. As you can see, this is very, very similar to the previous style of Road Glides available from the 2015 model year all the way to 2023. Same control layout that we were used to, GTS infotainment system. But yeah, I'll go across it real quick with everything. So here on the left-hand side, up here you're gonna have a button to cycle through your trip A, your trip B, your range, traction control, horn, high beam, running light, and passing light when you push down, turn signal, a spot to be able to talk with voice commands, volume knob to either turn your music up, turn it down, or turn it to your home screen, cruise control. Down there you're gonna have your ignition switch and fork lock. For that fork lock too, because this was something I learned before, but then forgotten. So for that fork lock to engage, you have to not just turn it over to the fork lock position, like with the wheel facing straight, which is kind of what you would expect since that's what you see most of the time with the Trikes. But in order for it to engage, you have to turn your forks all the way over to the left, then turn the fork lock spot all the way and then lock it in place. That way the teeth of your fork lock actually engage. So I'll show you here. You'll have to turn the handlebars until it's all the way. And I forgot to bring it up earlier, but get to see if I can't get the camera to focus on it. Down there, that metal bar that you see, there we go. That is the steering stabilizer. That's essentially, think of it kind of like the hydraulics of a screen door, where it'll help open or close it. That's what that's doing down there and helping moving the bars to the left or to the right. It's also going to make it to when you're going down the road, your front wheel isn't going to be bouncing around as much. But once you've got it all the way turned over, you're going to push down, turn it that way, and then your forks. Oh, there we go. Heard the click. Now it's not going to go anywhere, and you can use your barrel key there to fully lock it in place. To finish going over our controls real quick, over here on this side, you'll have your kill switch and your run switch, hazards, starter, reverse, right turn signal, and then the back button for your the GTS screen there. And that little knob that you see there is actually how you can go through the screen without having to touch it. And it's helpful for whenever you're going down the road. That way you're not having to touch the screen while interacting it. You can keep your hands on the handlebars. Now we'll go over the gauges real quick. Down there you have your speedometer, your RPMs, fuel, and your battery. For your RPMs, you're going to be able to run this engine like you would other Milwaukee 8s for the 107 and the 114 variant. Its happy range is really going to be there around that 2,500, but you can run it up to 3, but really its happy spot really is right around that 2,500. For down here, whenever it's on and gets over 10 miles an hour, you will have a number sequence from 1 to 6 across the bottom, telling you what gear you're in. The fuel is very self-explanatory. It tells you how much fuel you got in it. For the battery, that'll show you your voltage. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is for the Road Glide 3, it does have a battery tender on it to where you can plug it in and charge it up. For the bike, its running voltage is going to be around that 14 spot, and if it's at 12 volts, should turn over no problem. Whenever you get closer to that 10 and 11 range, that's where it might struggle to turn over. So my recommendation is always put it on a battery tender if you know you're not going to be running it sometime within the week, just to play it safe. That way the bike's ready to go when you're ready to go. The cool spot on the Road Glide 3s is you do have this little slipstream vent that's going to allow for essentially make it to where you'll have some air circulating, and it's going to help with your head buffeting. But should it be either raining or just a colder day and you want to close that off, you're just going to push down here and you can see that vent door close there. However, down here, the Road Glide 3 does not have a way to close off those 2 vents there. Now, on earlier versions of the Rushmore style Road Glide fairing, there was a little vent that you could close in there, those 2 spots as well. But what we ran into was the little plastic pieces kind of holding them closed would snap long term, or if there was a strong enough gust of wind. And so you would essentially have that door just kind of like fluttering in there and making a lot of racket. So I can't swear what year, but I want to say probably like later 2010s, Harley decided to take that out of the Rushmore style fairing so that it was one less thing to break on there. But they did leave the one up top, since that was the one that was helping with the majority of the head buffeting and air circulation. Last thing that I'll bring up before I get into the test ride section and tell you how I feel when riding it is the thing that I really dig about this styling for it still being Rushmore is, even though it's a trike, even though it has 3 wheels, everything from this section here forward is dang near identical to the Rushmore style Road Glides. So if there's a different windshield, different bars, different engine components, or different customization options that you wish to have for your Road Glide 3, it's still easy to get a hold of. And I bring that up because, like, for customization, that's one of the biggest things of owning Harley Davidson is customizing it to be the way that you want. And for the Trike, or specifically the Road Glide 3, you're able to do so still with over a decade worth of aftermarket availability still there for you. And now on to the test ride portion of the video. So I say this as somebody that doesn't ride trikes, but if I was to ride a trike, I would personally ride the Road Glide 3. It's a very agile feeling trike. Feel like you can zip in and out of traffic, 0 problems. It's a very smooth ride. The 114 gives plenty of power, even though I really would like to see the 117s across the entire trike platform, not just on the Road Glide 3, just so we were all across, like, one engine to rule them all, as it were. But I really do enjoy riding on the Road Glide 3 because you're getting the infotainment. You're getting, in my opinion, the better ride because everything's a little bit lower, a little bit center of the ground. It's just a better overall riding experience, in my opinion. For turning, that bar does a lot to assist with going around. The other thing is, with that steering stabilizer, if you get caught in a rut or just a groove in the road, you're not going to see your handlebars go bouncing around all the spot. It helps out quite a bit. So I really like the Road Glide 3. The only downside for me on the Road Glide 3 is I personally would like to see the option of a tour pack on there. I think it's absolutely silly to me that there is not a fully dressed version of the Road Glide 3. And the reason I say that is because right now the big debate is Batwing or Shark Nose for your riding purposes, and it's fully based off preference. I really don't think one's better than the other, and I would like to see that reflected in the trike. That way, if somebody doesn't necessarily like the Batwing, they like the Shark Nose, but they want that tour pack because they do the 2-up riding, I would really like to see that added into the lineup. But really, if you're looking for a trike, the Road Glide 3 is the best riding trike in my opinion, because it doesn't have that bouncing around empty trailer feeling in the rear like I think the Tri Glide does. But unlike the freewheeler, you're getting that fairing, you're getting that infotainment, and you're getting that navigation. So Road Glide 3, best riding trike in Harley-Davidson's lineup for 2025. Now on to the pricing and color options available. The Road Glide 3 does start at $34,999. That's going to be for your billiard gray on chrome that you see here. I've seen this. I've actually got a pre-owned one on the floor right now. It's not bad looking. It's definitely not my preferred. I do think this color works better on a different trim. Next is our Vivid Black. Very classic Harley-Davidson. For Vivid Black, you are seeing a price upcharge of $750. Classic Harley-Davidson, classic setup. It really does well with that brushed aluminum wheels as well. Not a bad looker at all. Next, we're going to move over to the Whiskey Fire. I like this on the chrome trim because it's that classic, it's the closest that we have right now to that hard candy red on chrome, and I just dig the styling of it. It's cool. It does have a little bit more of an orange color whenever you see it in person, but you're looking at $1,000 for that charge. For the Blue Burst, still at $1,000 for it. This is honestly the one that I like the best on the chrome. And the reason being is because it reminds me a lot of an electric blue that Harley did a while back on the Ultra Classics. So it's just a very good looking stripe. Got a nice little bit of pinstriping through there as well. Next, we're going to move over to the blacked out trim. As you can see, the blacked out trim is $1,100 to get. I really dig this color on the blackout. You got a really good contrast from the black bottom to the more subtle top, and then the aluminum brushed wheels just really pop with that trim. Next, we're going to move over to the Vivid Black. Still $750 for the color, still $1,100 for the base trim, but this is again, very classic, very in right now too, but you can definitely tell how much the aluminum brushing is going to pop with that full blacked out look. Definitely not a bad option there. Now this is the real head turner, the white onyx pearl. So only available in the blacked out trim. This is the color combo that you saw a lot of the builders going with over the years, of just very, very light with very dark with a black pinstriping. Absolutely gorgeous. You are getting some metal flake in there too. $1,000 for that color upcharge. Next, we're moving over to the Purple Abyss denim, also only available in that black trim. This is stunning. If you've not taken the time to go to a showroom and look at the Purple Abyss, as the year has gone on, it's just grown on me more and more. And this is a color that was just mint for the blackout. So $1,000 for the Purple Abyss. And next we'll come over to the most expensive version of the Road Glide 3, which is the Whiskey Firestorm on black. $3,300 for this color upcharge. This is the color I've been showing you throughout the video. Really nice looking, and it's just, I love Ghost Flames, man. And that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, and if you want to see more bike reviews, behind the scenes content, give a subscription. Also, if you've made it to this point in the video, I wanted to take a moment and say thank you guys. We recently reached 1,000 subs, which I know is like a small number in the whole grand scheme of things, but it was a big goal of mine to hit, and I hit it earlier than I thought. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I'll catch you guys out there riding.